gargoyle of the Front Row Fanatics, and you're watching my two good friends on Top Rope Reality.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Top Rope Reality. This is Big Royal Rumble and NXT TakeOver Philadelphia weekend. Yes. Let's get started with some breaking news.
Did we say what episode it was?
Oh, 152.
152.
No, you didn't do 152. So
I didn't do 152.
You did not do it. But it's part one. I'm Mike Hogan.
And I'm just a cop.
Let's start with some breaking news.
We have a lot of news this week.
Yeah, it was kind of slow.
It was a little slow, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Kind of picked up there.
Boom.
But let's start off with Enzo Amore. Sorry. He is not your Cruiserweight Champion
Your
anymore.
former Cruiserweight Champion.
Former WWE employee.
Yes. So what had happened was Enzo Amore was suspended by the WWE on Monday with Big Raw 25 after recent sexual assault allegations. The next day, WWE had come to terms on the release of Enzo Amore.
Yes.
So, from what I'm understanding was that they, from the reports, that they made the decision to fire him the same day they suspended him.
Yeah, well, see, it happened back in October.
Well, the investigation started in October.
He told nobody.
Nobody.
Not smart.
No, and that's what got him fired. The suspension was technically for the allegations. They have to do that, just like with Rich Swann, which we'll get to that in a minute.
All right.
But that's what they suspended him for. They fired him for a morality clause in their contracts, which states that you have to tell them about any criminal investigations because they have attorneys for that kind of stuff. They have to be involved in that.
You don't want to be sideswiped, you know.
No, and that's what it was. Instead of doing media for Raw 25, they were having to field questions about Enzo and his sexual allegations. And you don't want to have to deal with that, but they said that he walked into the building with a shirt that said, "This is the greatest day of my life." On the front of the shirt, on the back of the shirt, it says, "I can't wait till tomorrow." Number one, that looks really cocky because before you got to the building, you knew about this being out on the internet.
Oh yeah, definitely had to know.
Probably shouldn't have worn that shirt. Then he had a meeting with Vince McMahon, and they said that pretty much right after that meeting was over, they had already made the decision they were going to fire him.
Yeah.
So I don't ever see him coming back.
I don't either.
Me personally, because now they can't trust you because you sit there and not tell them about this investigation. But it means new life for 205 Live. Will they still disappoint us, or will we get some new, fresh ideas going for 205 Live? Because they are going to name a new, which first ever really, general manager.
Well, Kurt Angle was it, you know.
Technically, he's the general manager over the Cruiserweights because they're on Raw,
yes,
but
I guess.
But
so much on the shoulders, you know.
So now 205 Live will get its own general manager next week, and they will talk about naming a new Cruiserweight Champion. Who could the GM be? Who could the new champion be?
That's a list of people it could be.
We talked about the possibility of Rockstar Spud. They said he's been backstage for weeks, and they haven't used him yet. There's also the possibility of something like Tyson Kidd, who is an agent backstage. He is a cruiserweight style wrestler. He cannot wrestle anymore. You even mentioned Christian, who is a former light heavyweight champion.
He can talk.
He can talk, and he's not doing nothing but the podcast with Edge, which I know they're not gonna stop him from doing that if he's just GM.
Yeah, you're just GM once every Tuesday.
Right. And And even let's just say that they don't feel like putting Brian Kendrick back into the ring after this latest injury. Maybe they make him the GM. You just never know.
I saw Eric Bischoff's name has been tossed up. I know. I think not for the Cruiserweights.
Not just for the Cruiserweights.
They had Summer Rae lined up to be general manager, but they fired her, so we'd be shocked to see her back.
I didn't know they had that lined up.
Yeah, they had that lined up already.
That's weird.
Back to Enzo for a minute. What I saw before we started the show is they done took his picture off the trucks already. They said so.
They went that far.
Yeah, they had removed him from the trucks.
Well, because the funny thing is when you say that, what you told me to watch the latest ride along, and Naomi was in the vehicle with the Usos, and Naomi was looking out the window and said, "Oh, I miss her."
Yes.
One of the trucks still has Cameron on it.
I know.
It's like, wait a second, she's been fired for like 3 years.
I guess they really didn't care about her too much on her ride along. She could ride up down the roads on the big truck. I mean,
but I guess with Enzo, they don't want that black eye there, so they just go ahead and wipe it off of there.
And will Rich Swann come back?
That's the other thing. So Rich Swann has been cleared of all wrongdoing, just like what we were just talking about.
Hunter and Stephanie was asked about it. They said we'll find out what happens.
Oh, they did question the two of them?
They did talk about, yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't give a definite answer if he's coming back or not.
They don't see how the case, what's the results from the case. So since it's dropped, he's cleared. He ought to be reinstated. I mean, you know, for being a bad boy, you're going to take your lumps if you get back for a little while.
Right. I mean, you're not going to come back and probably be the first Cruiserweight Champion again after Enzo. But they said that his lawyer said he's going to do everything he can to get him back, you know, on the roster, which is an interesting take on the opposite end because we know, like Adam Rose, he had the same type of allegations against his wife. They suspended him, and during that suspension, he went ahead and asked for his release instead of coming back, even though he was cleared. So, you know,
if Rich asked for his release, then I guess he'll get his release. If he wants to come back, he'll probably come back.
I hope they let him come back. I mean, if he's cleared of it, then great, you know.
Maybe a while if we see him back on TV.
Maybe so.
One of those where they know you've been a bad boy, you've got to sit backstage, you wrestle dark matches, you'll wrestle house shows, but you're not going to be on TV for a while.
Right.
We got other people, stars here that we're going to put on TV.
Right.
So,
but what I do believe they should do with the Cruiserweight Championship is, to be fair to Cedric Alexander, he is technically number one contender. If they do like a small tournament, then the winner of that tournament needs to face Cedric for the championship. So, yes. You don't just need to wipe out the fact that he was number one contender.
I know, over and keeps getting it, and you know, he
keeps getting messed up. One of them's injured, or one of them. You know, I mean, Enzo was real sick that one week.
I think what they should do is name the new GM. He announces the first match will be a battle royal. The winner of that battle royal faces Cedric in the main event tonight.
There you go, bud.
And you have the Cruiserweight Champion, the GM. Cruiserweight Championship all wrapped up on Tuesday.
Boom!
Now, everybody, are you ready for some football in 2020?
2020. 2 years away.
This man is bringing back the XFL, which, if he does what he says he's going to do, keep the WWE out of it,
that's
going to be best. He's going to get football minds, he'll get sports minds, he'll get doctors involved, so the concussions.
He's already said that he's going to be. Yes. This is probably the last time he's going to be on the forefront was with that press conference.
Which is good. And, I don't want to think. When I look at the XFL, I want to think it's football. I don't want to think anything to do with WWE.
Right.
I don't see anything for WWE associated with it. So when it goes off, when the trademark comes down there, it won't say WWE like it had before.
Oh, it said that before?
Oh, yes. Oh. Now that he did the
Alpha Entertainment.
Alpha Entertainment, that's what's going to be there.
Right.
So that's a good thing. No mention of WWE. No announcers, no nothing.
Yeah, not JR and Jesse the Body Ventura, The Rock coming out on the field. You don't need none of that stuff. And he said when you're there to play football. He's not about the politics. He's not about the whole national anthem thing. He don't want to have nothing to do with all that extra junk. He just wants to play football.
You just look what the NFL done, what mistakes they make.
Right.
You just, you know.
And
don't have the players come out. Then you have to worry about nobody taking a knee. You play the national anthem for the fans, then have the players come out. That way it covers your bases.
That could be what it is, but you know, he sounded like what he said was it's a time-honored tradition, so they're going to stand.
Oh. Yeah.
That's the way he's. I listened to the whole press conference.
If you get the people, I did too. If you get the people who are not criminals, let's just say what it is.
That's another thing he said. Yeah, no criminality whatsoever on your record in order to play on the field. That's, you know, it's going to narrow down a lot of people.
Yeah, because that's 8 teams, 40 players on each team. That's a lot of people.
I think it's 320.
Yes, it is. Yeah, 320 football stars.
Yeah, I mean,
and they ain't gonna be your best. I'm sorry, they're not gonna be your best.
But at the same time, here's the thing. And it could be people that were in the NFL and they've gotten cut and they still want to prove themselves. Yes.
Oh yeah, you got
because
those.
You're not going to get paid what you get paid in the NFL. It's a startup league. Just like if you go to Arena Football League, you're not going to get the same amount. You go to the CFL, you're not going to get the NFL kind of money. But you still love the game. You still want to play. You still want to prove yourself.
Johnny Manziel, he was a flop in the NFL, but he wants to play. But he has a bad habit of being a DUI.
There you go. And
so that hurts him.
He said Tim Tebow can come on if he wants to.
Oh, Tim Tebow, yes.
That's a clean record right there.
That boy is on the straight and narrow. There's no messing
Right.
up. Son, here's some bad news about Tim Tebow. You got to make sure you're checking the record straight.
Yeah,
though.
hell probably froze over if
Yes.
you hear something bad about him.
And whoever got Tim Tebow will be fine. If Birmingham got another league, I'd be happy with that.
I would love for Birmingham to get another league.
Yeah.
The old Birmingham Bolts. But he said no city has been picked. All cities
Yep.
are on the radar. Could be all new names. He doesn't know if they're going to allow names on the back or nicknames on the back.
Right.
Which I love how they referenced "He Hate Me," which was one of the nicknames on somebody's jersey.
Rod Smart.
Rod Smart. Don't know who it is, but okay.
Me neither.
But you remember him saying that name because he said it was
Yes.
surprising that people still remembered that.
Yes.
For 2001. I mean, that's so long ago, but people still remember that.
He went to the NFL. So did,
did he?
So did the quarterback for one of the teams, Maddox. He went and played for one, like the Steelers, I think.
So people left from the XFL and did
Yes, they
well
got
in
picked
the
up,
NFL.
yes.
Wow.
Along with the camera that's on the court.
Exactly. Your overhead camera that goes across the field.
Until after Vince invented it, so
Exactly. So there are things the NFL may not say that it's from XFL, but it definitely was. Some of their players and some of their camera angles, stuff like that. But Vince is even saying there may not be halftime.
But you got to give him a little bit. That's a little bit. You don't want to cut it down. He wants 2 hours.
He wants 2 hours. He wants to streamline 2 hours, not have no 3.5 hour games.
Less penalty. I mean, do the less penalties.
I don't think there are going to be any penalties for showboating when you make a touchdown.
Nope.
He's going to cut that out because that's part of what he loves in wrestling is showboating. I mean, it's character driven. So he's going to like that.
One thing you can do
is
is when the clock starts, it don't stop till halftime.
right.
So I mean, stop at each quarter, and then when it starts,
So you're saying maybe not even do timeouts?
give them one timeout. Give each team one timeout instead of 3. I mean, there's ways to speed it up.
There's ways to speed
You go out of
it up.
bounds, so you gonna stop the clock? You ain't stop the clock out of bounds, so you better get your ass back on the field and do a play. So I mean, there's ways to speed it up.
Yeah.
But it is funny him saying 2 hours, and
But yet
and
Raw
then Raw's 3 hours, yeah.
And I think he wants it to be 2 hours. The Raw being 3 hours is not his call. That is USA Network.
Well,
So
it hurts.
It does, and I just hope that they don't sit there and possibly sell to Fox, the Fox group, because that'll be a bad move. But it'll go. All the program will go over to Fox.
It's Fox Sports, yeah.
And it'll be 2 hours, or whatever. I mean, they got money to spend now that Disney bought their
Movie
portion of the business.
Yes. Let's go on to the next thing. This is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Photos surfaced today or yesterday that The Undertaker is currently in Philadelphia.
Dun, dun, dun.
Walking around. He's walking around outside.
Walking around, just chilling.
Like nobody's going to take a picture of The Undertaker. Who's that dude in the shorts? Who's that tall dude looks like me, Mark? That's Undertaker. Take his picture.
WWE has applied for the trademark The Irresistible Force. This is for wrestling and merchandise purposes. Could it be a new gimmick coming soon?
Or, let's see, War Machine, Irresistible Force. Yeah, could be.
I mean, we used to have the Irresistible Force, meaning the immovable object.
Yes.
So could that just be a play on what Gorilla Monsoon used to say, and they put out some old school merchandise with it?
But they said, going back to the new people that showed up, talking about using
War
Ricochet,
Machine, yeah.
not using War Machine, so...
So you're saying instead of being called War Machine, they may be the Irresistible Force. I can't talk.
That's hard to say. It is hard to say.
It is hard to say.
We have WWE has frozen Neville's contract.
I did not hear this.
Oh yes.
Wow.
Instead of letting it expire, Neville also returned to the United Kingdom a while back, according to the report.
So he's just sitting there. So he's not sitting out the contract. The contract's not moving.
But the way they're talking is that they did Rey Mysterio. Like he was injured, they froze it, and then continue. So we don't know. They're gonna hold it till it expires, and he can't do nothing until it expires. So
wow.
We will have to see. Maybe Neville shows up tomorrow night.
Maybe he'll be the new GM. Anyway. I hope not.
Hope not.
Maybe he'll be the next champion. Hey, now that would be interesting.
You don't want Cedric to be champion.
I do want Cedric to be
He deserves
champion.
to be champion.
But it's so much fun having the babyface chase.
It is.
That's where the money's at.
We'll see that later on with Johnny.
Wrestling.
Stephanie McMahon is going to do commentating for the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm. For the women's portion.
For the women's portion. Just hopefully we don't hear her music. She jumps in the ring. We don't need that to waste a spot.
It'll probably happen. But she will be doing the women's commentary, and Jerry the King Lawler will be on the pre-show and will be doing the men's Royal Rumble.
Which is good for him. I'm glad.
It is good for Jerry Lawler.
But will it be...
Would be nice if JR was one of the commentators or something.
Jerry and Michael Cole only? And Corey?
You know it's going to be all of freaking Raw and all of SmackDown.
And Jerry Lawler.
Too much.
That's a lot of people. That's 7. No, not 7.
Well, Corey covers Raw
twice.
and SmackDown
Yeah,
and 205. Well, not 205 Live anymore. Mixed Match Challenge. That's the other one he does. Yeah. He does too much.
He does.
But, no, I mean, you'll have Cole for sure. You'll have Jerry. Mm-hmm. You probably have Corey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got somebody, and you probably have
Tom Phillips.
Tom Phillips.
That'll cover 4, so that'll be, Raw and SmackDown covered. Because Corey covers Raw and SmackDown. And then Mike will be Raw, Jerry will be Legend, and Tom will be SmackDown. I think 4 will be okay.
Yeah, switching it out.
Yeah, don't all talk at one time, please.
Yeah. And finally on the news, which is pretty interesting.
It is interesting.
On this day in 2014, which I didn't know was 2014.
I didn't realize it was that long ago.
CM Punk leaves the WWE.
Yes.
Could he return tomorrow night?
Could he? Because we're filming this on the night of TakeOver.
NXT, yes.
So, could he return to the Royal Rumble? Probably not. It's wishful thinking.
Yeah, no, I doubt it.
But if he came out as number 30, you'd freak out.
I'm going to freak out if it's Daniel Bryan's music, if it's Roman Reigns' music.
Somebody said, and this would be absolutely perfect, because this guy reminds me of...
right now, but go ahead.
This guy reminds me of perfect.
Dolph Ziggler?
See, there you go.
I know it ain't his son.
Listen to this, though. They said...
Okay.
There's a possibility of him coming out to Daniel Bryan's music just to piss everybody off. What a heel thing to do! If he came out in the Royal Rumble to Daniel Bryan's music at number 30.
I think we're hearing Daniel Bryan's music, because we talked about this last week.
At number 30!
That Daniel's music would hit, he'd walk out and
introduce the newest SmackDown member.
Who was number 30, yes.
Literally, that would be hilarious if Dolph did that. He would get booed out of the building, but it would be great.
It would be great.
That would be awesome.
It would be. Well, let's talk about Raw 25, which a lot of people didn't like. A lot of people were upset about.
Horrible! Anyway, that's what everybody's saying. I mean, the people saying that they spent $800 for damn seats at
Manhattan Center.
Manhattan Center are stupid.
Yeah.
Now, I do believe that they should have at least gotten the first full hour.
Yeah, they should. They should.
Like Manhattan Center used to be a 1 hour Raw. They should have gotten the whole first hour there.
I love when you said that. I was feeling good, but then JR came. They went to JR first.
I know, isn't that weird?
And they sent it right back.
That don't make no sense.
They stayed there for a while. And they came back for Undertaker, and then threw it back for a while, and they came back for a match, and threw it back.
But from what I'm understanding, from what Jerry Lawler said at his podcast, was that number one, they were not sleeping. They were slouched because the chairs were uncomfortable. And they said that JR was tweeting or texting throughout the entire broadcast.
So you can't,
So
I know you want to go back, but you can at least give us decent chairs.
Right. But he said that what he was to understand was that because everybody was booing and chanting curse words and stuff, was that Triple H got on the phone and said, hey, y'all need to send some of them folks over here because these folks getting upset. Because Jeff Hardy showed up, I think, off camera. Flair was off camera. Miz, part of his stuff was off camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
His part of it was on camera, though, wasn't it? The Miz? Or none of the Miz?
No. Everybody was
after it went off, when DX was already done doing their stuff, right?
I don't know when it was, but yeah, Hunter got some people come on.
The DX and everything was already out there, and then that's when Miz came out, Seth Rollins was out.
Well, that was at the end then, yes.
Yeah.
After the cameras cut off.
Because the end of Raw was the Braun Strowman stuff, right?
Yes.
But the end of the Manhattan Center stuff was the DX. That was their main event.
Mm-hmm.
So after their main event was over, the Miz and Seth Rollins came in there, and the Miz got beat up or whatever. But they were, Manhattan Center loved the Miz. I watched the video. They love the Miz there.
So did the Barclays Center.
That's true.
Well, let's start off. Let's do a little recap here.
Little summary.
I know you probably saw it, but you should know.
If you didn't,
where were you at? It's 25 years. You're not going to see 25 years again.
Well, maybe. It depends on how young you are.
You won't see the official 25, unless you're on the network.
No, I mean, I'm saying another 25.
Yeah, be 50 though.
It's true. Yes. We'll be old
You'll
fogies.
never see 25.
We will be old.
You'll see
fogies.
30 and
we'll be on in walkers and wheelchairs and all kinds of stuff. Still doing this shit.
Thank you for that there.
Yes, you're welcome.
We started off with JR and Jerry the King Lawler, who introduced us at the Man's End. They sent us right back to Barclays.
We're over here, but bye. You know?
But as soon as the pre-show sent us to McMahon Center, Stephanie and were coming out already. So then we sat back, and Stephanie and Shane were in the ring. They brought Vince out after thanking everybody, gave him a cheaply plaque, and the Mr. McMahon light flicked on, and here we go. He talked about how bad the plaque was. He talked about how bad the fans were.
He did everything himself.
It was him, and nobody else. He could thank nobody else but himself. He is the one, only the one, until the glass broke.
Of course.
Then Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out. Let's drink a little beer. Let's flip a little birds. Let's give a little stunners. And let's don't talk a single word.
He never said anything?
He didn't say a damn thing. He
Really?
got on the thing. He stunned. He hugged. We had a few little hugs. I love Vince talking about how old feeble he is, having heart troubles, and living in an old folks' home.
I didn't know he said all that, but I do
Yes.
remember. I remember seeing the part when I watched it on YouTube how he was saying, Mother Nature's not been good to me.
Yes,
I am a
you look-
senior citizen.
You look great. I live in a senior community and all that stuff, and heart troubles and bones. And
So stupid.
Shane's young. Shane's
He's in
fresh.
his prime. He jumps from ring post to ring post.
So Shane took the first stunner, we drank some more beer, took a little more hug, then Vince got it, and then Shane got another one because you always have to get another when you get up.
Of course.
And Austin was gone, and that's the
The
last
funny
we saw
thing is, I don't know if
Austin.
you noticed, but when they was raising hands, Vince purposely poured beer on Shane as he was standing there. Yeah, Shane was laying there, and he raised his hands up and then turned his can up. Just right. And he poured it all over Shane.
That's terrible. And then we had the 6-woman match.
6
Oh,
women.
excuse me. 8 women match.
8 women.
We had Sasha Banks, Bayley, Mickie James, and Asuka. Or Asuka, if you're Kurt Angle.
That's true. He's finally getting it right.
He is funny. Taking on Nia Jax, Alicia Fox, and 2 of Absolution.
Which
Mandy
Paige was
Rose
out at
and
ringside, though.
Sonya Deville.
Deville.
Deville. Yes, with Paige outside. Which is
sad.
right now, yeah. Of course, you have a team with Asuka on it. Asuka's
They're
not
winning.
losing. They're winning. So Asuka picked up the win. Well, she didn't pick up the win. I think she did pick up the win.
But then they all brawled, didn't they? She
No.
threw her own team over the ropes, didn't she?
Mickie James got on the rope cheering.
Mm.
And so was everybody. Everybody was all on the ropes.
Mm.
And Asuka got down, tossed Mickie to the floor, backhanded Bayley with a good shot, tossed her ass on the road, kicked Sasha. Sasha tried to do her bank statement, but she threw her off, and then over the rope she went to. And everybody loved
So
it.
they specifically, because when women have had battle royals, they could go through the middle of the ropes.
Yes.
They specifically said they have to go over the top on this Royal Rumble, correct?
Yes.
Good.
Then we go back to the Manhattan Center where the Undertaker comes out. Talks a little bit. People are still going, is he retired? He's not retired. Is he coming back? Is he looking for somebody?
It was very interesting, though, because he said all his old foes answered to the Reaper.
Yes.
And he mentioned Austin, mentioned Foley, mentioned Kane, and now all his enemies are laid on the earth behind him, which they're not dead, so I don't understand. And then he said it's truly time to rest in peace. He said it's truly time for them to rest in peace. He did not say himself.
No.
He said them.
Be a little perturbed to be there. I don't know.
He looked a little perturbed. Is that what
He
you said?
did, yeah.
Interesting.
And the fans started chanting one more match. Maybe that's what he was thinking of. I don't know.
Well, he had to have known they were going to say that.
You would think they don't say that, but he seemed off. It's like he was ready for something and he forgot something. I don't know, because it was just weird. Very weird. Very weird.
Odd.
We had The Miz, who was saying he's going to win tonight. 25th anniversary of Raw is going to be big, but it's even bigger for The Miz because he's going to beat Roman Reigns.
He's almost good, but he's about to beat Jericho's record.
About to, yes.
Jericho's 9 or 10?
Jericho's 9. Yes.
I could see Miz being 10 times. He's got to say it 10 times, though. That'd be hilarious.
But The Miz did keep his promise. He did beat Roman Reigns with a little help from the metal turnbuckle.
Of course, but now he's at number 8.
And he is 8-time champion. Now will Roman go into WrestleMania take on Brock without the title, or will he get it back? I think he's getting it back.
Think Roman will get it back?
Yes. So we can have another double champion. We hadn't one of those in a while.
Of course.
We had the Peep Show, which was nice.
Peep
Nice
Show.
to see Christian out there doing the Peep Show.
Christian.
We had Seth and Jason Jordan. Well, it was supposed to be just Jason. They was talking, but Christian introduced both of them. So they come on there and they do some talking, and then Jason started talking about his daddy, how great his daddy is, and blah blah blah. Here comes the bar. They don't raise the bar.
They are
the bar. They get a little scuffle. Jason holds Cesaro as Seth comes off the top rope with his knee. Cesaro gets free, and Jason takes the knee.
But you're saying Jason Jordan is injured.
Exactly. So I was wondering if they was going to do that.
But we don't know the specific injury. But someone is saying it's his back. Just like, who else has got? Kevin Owens is dealing with a back injury. So, do they drop? If Jason Jordan's injury is bad enough, they're going to drop the belts.
Oh, yeah. But I can't believe unless,
It's very interesting.
All I can see is that he leaves him.
Then Jason walks off?
Yeah, that's why you don't take any hits. Seth starts the match, Jason then walks off. He may take a punch by accident. Okay, you got kicked on Raw, and you take a punch from Seth here and knocks you off the apron.
So he gets pissed off and walks off?
Yeah. That way you just take 2 punches.
Because they're saying this is going to culminate at WrestleMania, so we're going to have Jason Jordan versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Jason can wrestle. People just hate him, which they got booed. They booed louder every time he started to speak. They just got louder and louder.
That's funny.
So
it's crazy they loved him when he was Chad Gable, though.
Yeah, that's true.
That made no sense.
So we had American Alpha, who were all faces, and they waved to the kids, and now they're all everybody's.
Now they're all heels.
Pretty much, yeah. Jason just got to take that one little step.
He's almost there. That's true.
He's almost there. That's true. We have Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy
at the Manhattan Center.
Finally meet, and Bray got the first win. So,
not unless you count the house shows, because of the 205 Live house shows, Matt Hardy won both of those.
So yeah, because you gotta have a good guy win the house show.
Of course.
Well, I mean that's good for Bray. Strike first.
He actually got to. If it's on pay-per-view, Bray's losing though.
Will this kill the Woken and make him broken now?
Oh.
Since he got the rights to it.
Because they're saying now they're going to change it up. It sounded like I was like, you already started the Woken thing though.
Yeah.
So John Cena returned to Raw for the first time since his Yuletide victory over Elias. So they're back to that again because he found himself face to face once again with Elias, who flipped the script at the last possible second. This time, Elias got the last word.
He did.
He low-blowed John Cena, who, as he was setting up for the AA, smashed a guitar over his back, dropping him with the drift away. They are really trying to push Elias.
I'm glad. I like Elias. People love Elias.
Yes.
You know what WWE stands for?
Walk with Elias.
Yes, it does. I mean, come on.
Yes. The drift.
You know, he tells them to shut up and turn their phones off and everything.
They
like
still
that.
cheer?
They still cheer. Yes. So, I mean, they got some there, but they'll probably ruin it, just like they have with the Revival.
And speaking of.
Yes, who showed up at the Manhattan Center for their match against Gallows and Anderson, the Good Brothers.
Who they're going to face again at the pre-show for the Royal Rumble, so we'll get the same result again.
No, we probably won't this time.
Well, I mean, DX won't be involved.
Yeah, so that means that the Revival will get their win back. 50-50 booking. But yeah, they had the match, lost to the Good Brothers, and then, of course...
Everybody came in to celebrate. All the DX was in there celebrating. And
all happened to this was Scott Dawson turned Scott Hall around and got the toothpick in the face, and then we got the...
X Factor
from X
Punches from Road Dog. Famouser from Billy Gunn.
Right, because the Shake, Rattle, Roll was Honky Tonk's move.
Yeah, but he used to do stuff like that.
Yeah, but he was doing the...
Yeah, he did that, and then
stop doing that. Trust me.
he did that, and then he would.
Say
Oh,
yes.
I saw it on video, and he said after he seen himself, he put on Twitter after he seen himself on Raw, he realized he needs to quit eating so much cheeseburgers and pizza. Because he did the punches, and then he usually grabs his crotch, and then he would usually grab his crotch and then hit with an elbow. But of course, the punches led to the famouser. So,
which he does good, but
of course,
if you're on the Indies, you can have all the steroids you want.
Exactly.
And then that course, Scott fell off to the wayside. Dash stood up, took a super kick, pedigree, and the coup de grace from Finn Balor. So then we switched back over to Barclays.
That was it for
that was it for Manhattan Center. Yep, the good 25 minutes and something. I think it was total time and everything.
And they said 17 of that was just the whole DX and the match and everything. That's pretty sad.
That's pretty sad. But yeah, Kurt Angle had brought everybody out pretty much who was been on the show to surround the ring, get in the ring, try to block off Kane and Braun. But that didn't work.
Of course it did.
Brock came out, he looking for a fight, he comes down, he jumps, he leaps. Pretty good leaper. He leaped with a flying clothesline, took down Braun, got rid of Kane, Braun come back, grabbed him, put him through the table, and Braun was standing tall.
Very nice.
Will it matter? No.
No, of
won't
course.
Won't matter at
Because
all.
they've been destroying Brock this whole time leading up to this, and Brock's
Not
still
really.
going to win. No, baby, Brock's getting beat up this whole time. He got a thing crashed on top of him before. Braun's the one that's looked at on the top notch of this
Braun
whole
looked good.
feud. Kane has just been there. Braun has looked good.
Well,
the whole
Kane's
time.
there just to take the pin.
Take the pin,
Yes.
exactly. Which is interesting. You know, they went through the commentary table,
Yes.
but Paige posted a picture on her Instagram where she was looking at the monitors, talking about she loves her job, she loves her boss. Well, on the table where the monitor was, there was a piece of paper taped there that said, "Stay away from the commentary table." So that thing was ready to blow.
Yes.
So,
And there were 7 minutes and 45 seconds worth of matches for the Manhattan Center.
but they did have quite a few dark matches, apparently. They had 2, right?
Yeah.
At least 2. As Mustafa Ali defeated Lindsay Dorado, and then Tozawa and Atami defeated Drew Gulak and Tony Nese. So they got matches that weren't seen on TV. So they got something.
Yes.
They weren't just sitting there.
But
the
your
whole
idea
time.
was a lot better. Give them an hour.
Give them the whole first hour. I mean, start, and that's why I thought would have been great. You start the show with Undertaker in the Manhattan Center, and you end the show with Stone Cold in the Barclays Center.
Well, like Jared and them talked about, you probably heard too. With a go-home show, they should have waited till the week after to do this.
Oh, of course.
Would have been a lot
They
better.
were putting all of it in one thing, and it was too much.
Because you wanted to end with the
With the championship match,
Yeah,
I understand that.
yeah.
But at the same time, what were people viewing it for? They weren't viewing it for the lead up to Royal Rumble. They were viewing it for the legend and stuff.
Nostalgia.
And they were rushing stuff because, from what I understand, a lot of the segments, not only because of Enzo, because Enzo was supposed to face, I think, Goldust.
Yes.
And then there was supposed to be interference from the Zo Train. That was going to lead to the Dudley Boys putting one of the Zo Train members through the table, and Heath Slater had to take it instead.
That's when we got the tag match.
That's where you got that match instead. Also, they had to just put Johnny Laurinaitis, Eric Bischoff, and William Regal out there, which, in my opinion, Teddy should have come out for that part too, because he was also a GM for Raw for a while, I thought he did both Raw and SmackDown for a while. I could have sworn, but maybe not. I know John Laurinaitis was Raw and SmackDown. And then they brought out Daniel Bryan as the SmackDown GM, and that was it for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, he come out and was going to start talking, and Miz interrupted him to go to the ring for them.
And that was it.
Yeah.
So all of that was not even supposed to happen. It wasn't supposed to be just a, hey, we're here, guys, look at us. Jimmy Fallon was supposed to be there for pre-tapes.
Yes.
And there was going to be segments involving Jimmy Fallon with those guys. And instead, he was running late and wasn't able to get there. Did they show him on camera at all?
Yeah. Yeah, Eliza had a back and forth with him.
Oh, said something to him and stuff. Well, he was supposed to be involved in some backstage stuff, some pre-tapes. So everything got rushed so much that they had so many last-minute changes that they should have waited to do this till the night after a Rumble.
Yeah, it'd have been a bigger thing.
And they could have built up some stuff during the Royal Rumble about who's going to be there and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, I don't know. It was
just
it was too much all in one show. It really was. I mean, trying to get everybody on the show. I mean, because here's my thing. Thinking about the last 25 years of Raw, and like all they did for the women was just, hey, how y'all doing?
Yeah.
And to think they didn't even show Goldust because of the whole Enzo match got scrapped.
Yeah, Goldust went in there.
He was a huge component of Raw for the last 25 years, and you don't even have him on the show. You could have had a segment with him and Terry Runnels, like an awkward thing of him seeing Marlena and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? They could have done something with that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there was so many missed opportunities when it came to certain segments they could have done. And there was there any CTV or what it was called? GTV?
No.
There was no GTV. They should have thrown that in there somewhere.
I don't know. They kind of some things were good, but a lot of things it was a rush. Because you could have had him looking for his Goldust chair, his director's chair, her sitting in it.
That's true.
Don't think you pan out and she's sitting in the chair.
There you go.
They would not get a pop from the crowd.
Right. With the old gold dress and everything, yes.
He can do that stuff he does when he's
He's like stuttering and stuff.
Yes.
Because he's just shocked to see her, you know.
Yes, I know, see?
Because nobody wants to see Terry Runnels. They want to see Marlena. Come on.
If he was wasted, he was at the poker game.
They wasted
And if you weren't paying attention, you'd have missed his ass.
You would have never known. The only reason people knew who he was because he looks completely different is ballin'.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. If he didn't say his one line, I was like, come on, really? MVP still does
Pretty
stuff
much
on the
they
indies.
threw a lot of people into the freaking poker game.
Mm-hmm.
Thought they did.
If it wasn't for that poker game, a lot of them wouldn't be on TV at all.
They did that, and they did the backstage segment in Kurt's office where
Boogie
Harvey.
Man. It was all
Boogie.
the awkward people. Like, they made it awkward.
Love, yeah. So.
Like, Brother Love looked at everybody, he was like, I love you. And then he looked at Coach, and he was just like, hey! Because technically, all those people are from his era except for Coach. So, so he could kind of be like, I don't know you.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
that was funny. And then Boogeyman eating his worms and then spitting them out in the coach's hand. That was just, it was definitely awkward.
Yeah.
Definitely weird. Which I think all that whole thing was pre-taped because before Raw even went on the air, all of those guys that were in that segment, Teddy Long had already posted a picture of all of them together in that room.
That's funny.
So they must have pre-taped all of that part.
They got time.
Yeah, exactly.
Just fill it in. If they didn't have time, they just throw it out.
Exactly. But I didn't have time.
So, what those people on the list? Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And then I'm shocked that they let Jericho wear a New Japan shirt.
I know.
He might have been like, well, you want me on there, then I'm going to wear what I want.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean...
But you didn't know. It didn't say New Japan on it, so
it did not say New Japan. So it was his Jericho shirt?
Yeah, the one he wore, yes.
The one he wore for New Japan?
Yes.
Ah,
I mean, people knew. The people who knew it, but, you know, if you just look
but
at
there
it...
was no New Japan logo or nothing like that on it.
Yeah, he had his sweater, I think he had his jacket on, or he had the scarves on, and it was partially covered, so...
Was he wearing his hair like he did for New Japan, with the whole thing pulling it back?
I don't think so.
That's an ugly look, but... Because that's what he was doing for all their little press conferences and in the ring. When they went to wrestle, he had like a rubber band thing that pulled the hair back to like right here. It was ugly.
I wish they'd had the countdown to bring Jericho out to the ring.
He didn't even come out at all, did he? Just the backstage thing.
He met Elias. Elias was walking back.
And he put him on the list.
And he stopped and put him on the list, with little scarves and all that stuff. And he started that.
Because Elias does scarves too. That's funny.
Yeah, so.
There were so many opportunities.
There was. It's like, oh, fit them in. Don't care what they do, just fit them in there.
I mean, because you had the Peep Show, but I mean, honestly, what show do people most remember is Jericho's show.
Mm-hmm.
So why not have his show on there?
I mean, yeah, you could have done both those in one. Started the Peep Show, did the countdown like they did when Jericho first debuted, have him come out, and they could drop the Jeritron 5000 or whatever.
That's true.
them having back and forth because they were tag team partners.
Yeah,
You know?
they were tag team champions for a while,
Yeah,
so
so-
they could have had a little back and forth. Wow, because show them bickering because Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins are bickering, so it would have worked.
Or make sure to say, okay, you interview him and I'll just interview Seth.
There you go. They could have done it.
Welcome to the hey, now it's my turn. Keep interrupting each other.
They could have done it.
Yeah, and you would have got him out there. It'd been a funny moment.
And woo! And Devon's gained some weight back.
Well, when you backstage eating and telling people where to go and what to do, I guess you mean.
Between Billy Kidman, Road Dogg, and Devon, woo!
And Flair.
They gonna have some heart problems if they don't slow down.
Flair did not to be on TV. Flair was scary.
And the sad thing is, he literally said, I don't know if it was an interview or something, but he recently said he is so preoccupied with dying. That he literally said that. I'm preoccupied with dying.
Oh, Jerry said it. Jerry said he still got some more surgeries to do, but he was on death's door.
Jerry still got surgery to do?
No, Jerry said Flair.
Still has more surgeries.
Yes, but he was on death's door. It was so bad.
But that's what he said. He's preoccupied with
He
dying.
needs to just stay. I'm saying, he's like, ooh, I could have been fine with just Charlotte wooing her. To have Flair come in there, try to touch her hair, which is very. Kind of like, I think it's patting the back of her head. It's like, are you steadying yourself? What the hell are you doing, man?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It did. It was awkward looking.
It
that's for
was,
sure.
yeah. And I love AJ. Yeah,
Bringing in Mean Gene.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene.
And I think even Mean Gene was like, "Oh, come on."
Yeah, I know.
He's like, "I always wanted to do
It
that."
was a good Hogan. It was a good Hogan.
It was a good Hogan,
impersonation.
yes. Because he wasn't gonna be there.
No, he wasn't.
Oh Lord. So anyway, we're done reminiscing.
Yes, we're done. We had to get the Raw out of the way. So.
Yes. But speaking of Raw, Part 2 is Pro Wrestling Review as we talk about the Monday Night Wars from June the 2nd to the 30th of 1997. We're boogieing down the year.
We are.
We're boogieing it down. So when we come back on Part 2, that's what we're going to go over is Raw and Nitro from those weeks.
Will the shows get better? Will they get worse? Or will they just say, eh? We can always tell if they time them. They know time, like, oh, Lord.
Right.
And will there be any NWO in matches, or will they just be in segments?
Yes, because if you know when they're not, we don't see them in matches, then they are just filling up the show on segments with them people.
Yes. When
Because there's about 80 of them.
When Rick Fuller is in the main event, you know something's not good. And the main event, Ming versus Rick Fuller. Okay, something. What they had to do something big.
Yes. Better been a real good segment at the end.
Yes. I'm Mike Hogan.
I'm just a cat.
I'm back after a few clicks here. Top Rope Reality on this big Royal Rumble NXT Takeover Philadelphia weekend. That's a mouthful.
It is.
Takeover Philadelphia. The city of brotherly love. Won't be much for Roman Reigns.